Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Flagler Weather Info video brief. Just a reminder that the data that we use for our forecast comes from the National Weather Service. Well, it was a beautiful yet breezy day across Flagler County. Temperatures got right up into the 80s. We saw highs generally right around 80 to 82 degrees inland. At the beaches, we had high temperatures there pretty much in the upper 70s. Those southwest winds bringing that warm air all the way to the coast. Well, folks, this was the last warm day, and some big changes are in store. Take a look at the weather map. A strong cold front will be swinging through Flagler County during the early morning hours overnight tonight. Behind that cold front will come a high-pressure system that will usher in some much cooler air. That high-pressure system would be our main weather player right to the end of the week. Now let's get right to our forecast, folks, as there's lots of changes on the horizon. For tonight, generally fair skies and breezy in the evening, then increasing clouds around midnight or so tonight. Then at some point between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we expect a round of showers and maybe a few isolated thunderstorms that come through the county. We don't expect a whole lot of rain, but there might be some gusty winds with this activity that comes through. We do not expect widespread severe weather, if any severe weather at all. This activity would predominantly just be a band of squally showers moving through the area. However, with that being said, there could be some strong gusts for some of this activity, especially if we get a few thunderstorms, and things can always change. So stay up to date on with official sources. Nevertheless, expect that activity to wind down definitely by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, if not a little bit earlier. Rainfall totals generally less than half of an inch. Some places maybe a little bit more. Most places a little bit less. Winds out of the southwest overnight tonight at 10 to 15 miles an hour, 10 to 25 miles an hour at times. Though, as said before, some of those winds might get a little bit strong and gusty as those showers and a few thunderstorms come through during the early morning hours. Now, looking at overnight lows, generally right around 50 to 55 degrees, mainly during those early morning hours after the rain has come through. Now, looking at Thursday, any clouds and rain in the morning will quickly get out of here. Skies clearing by the mid-morning hours, if not earlier. Despite plenty of sunshine, though, it'll be rather cool. Temperatures only peaking right around 60 to 65 degrees. Those temperatures may actually start falling during the later half of the afternoon. Winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusty at times. Tomorrow night, generally clear skies and cool. Winds out of the northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Lows generally in the upper 30s. There might be some mid-30s at the inland locations. Now looking at Friday, looking at Friday, generally clear skies, highs in the 60s, lows in the upper 30s. And then Saturday, clear skies, highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. And then Sunday, fair skies once again, high around 70, lows in the 40s, upper 50s. Monday and Tuesday, partly cloudy at times, highs generally getting into the lower 70s, lows generally in the upper 40s, lower 50s. Now looking at the beaches, surf running 1 to 2 feet, occasionally a few bigger waves out there. Surf temperature 63 degrees. Surf temperature will be cooling off after this cold front goes through. Now looking at our tides, Flagler Beach, high tide tonight at 10:25 p.m., low tide during those early morning hours at 4:20 a.m., a high tide at 10:40 a.m., a low tide at 4:40 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and then a high tide at 11:10 p.m. tomorrow night. Now in the inland waterways, intercoastal saltwater canals, low tide generally near 9:40 p.m., a high tide at 3:45 a.m. in the early morning hours, a low tide around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then a high tide near 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and then a low tide near 10:20 p.m. in the inland waterways. I want to note that those tide times might vary greatly depending on what part of the intercoastal waterway you are in. Now looking at the summary for what's going to be expected, a band of showers, maybe some thunderstorms late tonight. Until then, mild conditions. After the rain passes, things will cool off and clear out tomorrow. And in the next few days, generally cool, but no extreme cold. Temperatures generally in the 60s, lows in the 30s and 40s, right through the weekend. So, folks, thank you for watching. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Check our Facebook page. We'll be putting updates out as this activity passes through. Just a reminder, for official warnings and things like that, go to the National Weather Service. Use your NOAA Weather Radio. Go to weather.gov. There are some links to the National Weather Service on our Facebook page as well. So be sure to check that. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful evening.